Welcome to the Aviation Wealth Club Session 1 for 2026. I think this is our 41st session in total, but I think we'll start counting again from 0. So today is our first one. Welcome everybody who made it. We honor you and thank you for making this time and congratulate you for taking this time and giving it to yourself and your business and seeing the fruits of the labor and all the effort that we put in. So yes, 2601, absolutely. Thank you, Eugene. Very nice. And today we are going to talk about our wins, and then Rob has got something amazing for us in the form of 4x40. What's it?
3x40, but we're going to play with the first two 40s today.
Excellent. I can't wait. I'm only 43 this year, so that makes sense. I think it's France's year of 40 as well at the end of this year, so France is just about to start getting old. That's fantastic.
So nervous.
Lekker. And let's start off with our wins. Who has won at something since our last session? Take it away.
Yeah, I think I can go. So over December, anyway, I think, Dave, I'm just going to share the journey with these two gents, eh? Why don't I do that?
Do it.
And then
just don't take 2.5 hours.
No, I'll take 2.5 minutes. Or we can talking about it for 2.5 minutes.
Let's have a meeting to discuss talking about it.
Meeting about the meeting. Come on. Let's do proper corporate stuff. No, guys. So you all know I did the whole America thing, and I did the stuff, and I Captain Circle and school and built that whole thing, and it took forever, and I built the courses and months and months and years and hundreds and thousands of rands and a lot of frustration, and that's the fastest I can do it. And so then somewhere in early December, I was like, oh, this is cool. And I kind of had reflecting about it. And I was like, this is cool. We're taking it up like a notch and like getting its new age. And like, this is kind of, finding your legs. And then I was like, okay, but let me think about what kind of sets us apart from everything else. And I was like, cool, this does set us apart from everyone else. It elevates it a lot. It gives us instant access to clients, or clients instant access to me and what we're doing and that kind of thing. Okay, that's fine. But what makes it different? And I was like, this actually doesn't make it too different. It's actually the same thing, it's the same thing again, just like maybe better access. And then I thought about all the AI stuff and kind of made a call to start talking to the people I can find who know the most about AI, because no one really knows about AI. Everyone's still guessing and trying and whatever. And anyway, had lots of conversations and actually hired someone as like a full AI guy in the business and to build like our own, to build all our own agents, like AI agents in the business.
What are they called? What did he call them?
Well, that's a different kind of thing. But yeah, to build all the AI agents in the business so that eventually all the conversations that the clients could have with me, they could actually have with the AI with like a 95% accuracy level. No, I understand, it's finances and stuff, so you got to be super careful. And it'll be limited to certain, let's say, topics. And build an entire dashboard where all the client's information, everything like from A to Z, can be captured with this really smart client journey going into it. So by the time let's say the time the client spent the 10-15 minutes, and that's all it takes on this let's say app, we know everything we need to know. Like we can get information. We would have needed to spend an hour and a half, 2 hours with the client on a call to get all that information, where it pulls everything from all the insurers, all the investment houses, all the stuff. And anyway, and I thought that's really great because it, like David says, eventually it actually makes like a little bit of a clone of you, which you could also use for like all kinds of marketing spiels and stuff. I mean, Rob, you've done a bunch of this video stuff and marketing stuff now. It's like quite a schlep. Like it's takes a lot of energy if you do that kind of stuff. I'm keen to kind of use that part of it as well for branding, marketing, whatever. So that I feel like is a big win because we already got prototypes on everything. We only started on, I think, like the 26th or something of December. And like in a week or two, we've already built prototypes for everything. So it's quite cool.
Yeah. The speed is amazing. I know you guys have been putting in lots of hours, but I mean, lots of hours over 10 days versus and we've achieved lots of hours over what normally would take in the past like 3 months. So flipping amazing.
If I had to do it myself, I think it would have taken a year, to be honest.
Yeah.
Take me through those outputs again, Franz. What are you going to get out of the back end of those again?
So the output is there's two things. The output is we will definitely know the client better. That's one big output because there's because it pulls all the information and data through, from all the financial services providers, et cetera. The output is, and when I say getting to know the client better, I mean, it's very deep. So like what it will do is it'll say, upload a PDF of your last 3 months bank statements, for example, and it'll analyze those bank statements and say, here's your leaks. You forgot you've got 2 YouTube subscriptions.
Yeah.
You've got, and this is, I mean, it could definitely be like you have an OnlyFans of 180 Rand a month that's been going off for 3 years, like, all that kind of
only
stuff.
Fans of supercars or only fans of like F1, like that.
Boobs. No, not boobies, no. And so that's I'm very excited about that part of it. And then, and what it does, I think a big thing, Rob, is like we pretty much known as, me definitely, David's done a much better job at it than I have. But I'm definitely just known as the insurance guy, right? So I'm just known as like the guy you go to if you want loss of license, or if it's like a really complicated risk and everyone says no. Then you go to France, he sorts it out, he'll find someone. But this is a really nice way of, with existing clients, and then just going forward to have it be automatically right from day one, is like, follow this, 15, 20-minute journey, and we will plot out your exit strategy for you, which is actually what it is. Like, we all need an exit strategy. Like, your exit strategy might be selling the business in 5 years, or Pilot's exit strategy might be age of 63 when he needs to retire, or his exit strategy is, he's cut full. He wants to give it another 5 or 10 years. Everyone needs an exit strategy. Your business is going to either die, or the business is going to fail, or you're going to sell it, but it's going to be an exit somewhere.
That's a big one, eh?
Yeah.
So it looks at like planned and unplanned exits. So like COVID would be an unplanned exit, for instance.
Exactly.
How do you mitigate that risk? And then how do we do it? How do we do it with intention and design as well? Very cool.
Yeah. And I've got all the stats. I mean, I know that, in the last 60 years, last 50 years, there's been 6 catastrophic events in aviation. So that just gives us an average of like 8 to 10 years. So it's like, okay, well, if that was last one was 3 years ago, you got 5 to 7 years left till the next one. Okay, what are you going to do? Like, you've got 5 to 7 years just in terms of an emergency fund to carry yourself for 6 months. Like, that should be your first priority. So it makes it real. It's not like this fictional thing where it's like, oh, you need 3 months in the bank. So like, for what? And now I can go like, it's coming. Like, we know it's coming. Like, it's definitely coming. Like, there's a way for you to prepare yourself. And obviously all the loss of license stuff and everything. But anyway, the idea is to give the client this really perfect overview of where he is, have big discussions about hopes, dreams, aspirations, where you're going to plot that out with, historical data. And then because it's, let's say, on line and it's not fictional. There can be like pretty graphs, pretty things. You can put like little smaller targets in things for some dopamine. And you can, and you can like really have a handle on that. And like I was telling David yesterday, like what a cool thing is if you go like car shopping as an example, and you whip out your advisor app. You take a photo of the car and it's like, this doesn't really work with your planning. This car's 800,000. There's another car down the road that's 550. That's really the same. And the difference between that is an extra $1 million at retirement.
That's, ChatGPT already does that with food. You can take a picture of your dinner before you eat it, and it will say, good job, or give a third of that to the dog, or whatever it may well be, like based upon your goals, and it'll analyze like what it believes the food to be, and so it definitely can do that. The reason I asked that, Franz, around the outcome and the bank statements is I'm working a lot with business owners, obviously, and in South Africa, I'm finding every business owner is telling me they're broke, but actually they're not broke. They just have no idea where their money's going to.
I built that last week. Rob, it's so funny you said that. Like I actually, like part of this thing, I was looking at myself and I was like, why do I feel like there's never money? Like I always feel like, it's always touching the overdraft. It's always flipping, like it feels like a turnover business. But then my accountant is saying, you guys made a lot of profit last year. You got to pay extra tax. And I'm like, how the fuck is that? Like, what do you, no, like, what do you, there's no ways, right? And then I built that thing. So I built the thing where I put my last year's bank statements in from the business. And it said, this is exactly where the money's going, blah, 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 blah. And like you can put and it's really similar. It's like, okay, what do you want to achieve? Where do you want to go? What do you want to be able to do? And then I'm not done with it, but what I want to build it in a way that it can give you that snapshot of like, and this is your biggest clients. This is where you make the most of your profit. This is where all the leaks are. This is because you lose touch with it. Like this, I'm just being honest. Like if you don't have like a COO working for you that could 100% manage the same thing. Like I'm finding stuff I subscribed to,
people
10 months ago.
lose touch with it in their own bank accounts. Then they've still got a business bank account. Then they've got multiple businesses and multiple business in streams and out streams. Imagine trying to manage all of that in your head. You're never going to be able to.
I sat with a guy last week who claims that he's broke, right? And he's this, that, and the other. And I sat down. He's got 4 PTY limited, each with 1 or 2 bank accounts each. His personal bank account and a separate credit card. And he says he's broke. And we literally just went through his bank accounts in 30 minutes and went business expense or personal expense in the business. Like, you tell me, like which one? Blah, 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 blah. I color coded, just like I printed them off and did it in yellow highlighter across the personal expense for 1 month, and then just gave it to ChatGPT and said, please add up all the yellows. And turns out that through his businesses and his 20 grand a month that he has as his salary that he's broke, that the business is paying for about 4.5 million rand a year worth of living, which is untaxable really because it's an expense. And if you were to go and add, say, now that's a salaried job where you're going to pay income tax, that's like an 8.5 million rand a year salary. And he says he's broke. I'm like, but if you won't get a job in South Africa at 8.5 million rand a year, pay your 45% and be left with this. Like you're in the top 0.0001% of the country.
Yeah.
Like you're not broke. And I'm just finding more and more business owners who maybe not as dramatic as that in terms of numbers, but if you come back, they're actually, if they had a job, they'd have a 2 million rand a year job.
Yeah.
And they're so out of touch with that. And yes, you can do it manually with a yellow highlighter and printed off bank statements. But I mean, if you could go through and just go and upload those bank statements as PDF into AI and say, please work out the life, like what's the value of the lifestyle this person's living through these businesses and what they're doing. people have got a dramatically large lifestyle that they're living in South Africa. I mean,
Yeah.
4.5 million. If you take that salary of 8.5 million and then you minus the tax, 8.5 million rand a year is a world top 0.5% income before tax.
For sure.
So you'd have to halve that for you, hey, Eugene?
Yeah. No, it's
So half of what you get would get you to that 8.5 million.
yes, exactly. I'm thinking I need to up my expenditure slightly because I'm saving too much.
Yeah, but we do. We live a great life as business owners. I can tell you. And if you're earning commission, like the equivalent of a salary, if just from going from straight commission to salary or business owner to salary, like you say, Rob, it's nuts. So what's the outcome? What are we saying?
Well, I'm wondering whether I can beg, borrow, or steal something of what Franz has built to go and help.
Yeah, of course, man. Yeah, Rob, what I'll do, because I mean that's like a side quest, and I did a website, and I did I can't help myself. So I think maybe I don't know, another week or two of playing around with it, and then we can make like a proper set up a call with myself and the AI dude and whatever, and like walk you through it. Maybe there's I think there's an entire new business there, to be honest.
Well, it's equally like I already would suggest David as a pilot insured person to receive business from Kingdompreneur members. Maybe we can just find a way of making that more formal. I don't know. I haven't wrapped my head around it, but I'm just about. My win is that I think I've solved two big problems for Kingdompreneur over Christmas, and one of which is changing the way I coach in Kingdompreneur to help clients get bigger and better outcomes. And changing that model completely. But the second one links into, Franz, what you've been talking about, which is the first month of being a member. I'm calling it an activation month. And part of that is actually a 6-hour day getting them to actually understand their numbers. Not from
Fantastic.
a financial advisor's perspective, like you need life insurance,
Yeah.
but actually to go and understand, as David mentioned, the 4 separate business bank accounts and 2 separate businesses and 3 credit cards, and like
Top down.
who is that? Yeah, top down. Who is their biggest clients? Who do they need to show the most love to? What's the risk in their business? Again, like this guy last week, he's got a very profitable business, but one of his clients makes up half of his business, which is which is horribly risky. And
I've got a client that does about 7%. Right, one client, it's about 7%, and I shit bullets around that guy. So I don't know how he must feel.
He's, ignorance is wonderful. Is bliss. You just park your head in the sand. And I had to be very gentle, because I'm also aware if he becomes aware of the threat, he focuses on it, and then he'll lose that client, right? It's like Sod's law. But that part of that win is then me building out that activation month that I'm going to take people through before they become a proper client, and helping them actually understand how, in many cases, how lucky and how blessed they are, and they just can't see it.
Yeah.
And it's a numbers thing.
So often clients come to me and they're like, they want a review. Eugene, you've probably done this with me. And they're like, no, I don't know if you've done this, but I get this. My premium's so high. I need to save money. I need to reduce my premium. I'm like, okay, let's go through this. And then we actually just do a budget, and I go through the cover that they're getting for the money that they're paying, and show them what it would really cost if we put it on a level premium pattern and all that kind of stuff. And then showing them that they're actually getting massive value already, and that, maybe we can find another place to save money. It always works out for them. And they always feel so much better and more empowered once I've just done a budget with them. And then I say to them, I've done this with 3 or 4 people now, and I've said, okay, we'll do a monthly check-in. I'm just going to phone you 9 o'clock on the first Wednesday of every month, and I'm going to say, how's the budget going? Like, let's just talk about it. And just bringing that awareness, bringing their awareness to their own budget, like, because they know my call's coming. And they're like, no, maybe I shouldn't go out for the 4th time this month for dinner because David's going to ask me on the first Wednesday next month. You know what I mean? So I've actually got 4 clients that I've got that I've just got this monthly check-in on the budget, and just to bring their awareness to it and to show them, like, you don't need to cut your insurance premium. You need to stop buying crap.
It's interesting in almost every industry. If the client was to use the product or service in the way which it's designed to be used, the client would always have massive positive gains from the product or service. And it strikes me that we spend a lot of time working on how do we sell the thing. But equally, we should put as much time into how do we use the thing properly. Because
teaching the client how to use it properly.
Yeah, and even like David's saying, supporting them to use it, like putting those accountability steps, calls, measures, WhatsApps in, because it's a bit like FMB with eBucks. Like, I've had an FMB account for 15 years, and I think I've no idea how eBucks work. In honesty, I've used them once, but I've no idea how they work, and that actually the thing they think makes them different and better with regards to all of this added benefit was like discovery and vitality. Really haven't figured that out either.
Yeah.
Like if they actually supported me to use it, I'd become a better user, better banker, better advocate, more financially aware, probably borrow more from them, do all sorts of stuff. And yet the only thing they're really concerned about is getting me on board. But I'm actually like a flight risk to the business because, frankly, FNB is a bank that's got online banking like ABSA, Nedbank, and any other bank. I could just up and leave because I don't experience the benefits because I'm not supported to experience the benefits.
No. I know. Go for it, Eugene.
No, what I say now, that is a big thing with FNB, and you have to, like, every year they change the rules, and you have to spend like half a day to figure out how exactly to work with eBucks and go through the whole thing, which I use it to my benefit, but it's a hell of a process to go through it and to figure out, okay, but to get this reward, you have to go to this little thing and that little thing. And sometimes if you have a proper banker, they'll contact you and be like, hey, listen, let's have a quick review of your profile. If you have these and these and these little changes every month, you're gonna reach this level. But it's even the bankers say FNB is just, they focus on getting new clients, not on actually supporting them once they've hooked.
Yeah, that's right. And because they get an initial commission and then a trailer, and it doesn't really pay them to teach you how to use eBucks. There's a couple of clients that are diamond status on Vitality. They've managed to get there and they understand it. I can't replace that discovery policy. There's no way. Like money for, value for money, premium to cover wise, even just on the life cover, you can't do it. You have to tell them to keep it. But I'm busy figuring out the Vitality thing. I managed to get to silver status last year, and this year I know that I need exactly how many points I need to get to gold, and I should be gold by April. I can do a whole webinar just on that, actually.
I'll do the one on FNB.
Say again?
I think
I'm saying I'll do the one on FNB and then you do discovery.
For sure. Do it. Let's do it. Yeah. Go for it, Rob.
No, I was going to say that, as part of the Aviation Wealth Club, how to understand and manipulate the Vitality or eBucks thing to go and get the best out of it, I think would be a really, really, really valuable piece of learning for most of us, because I reckon most of us have got all sorts of benefits that we don't experience just because we don't get it.
I reckon the most powerful one in this table is the banking, which no one's talking about.
The Discovery Bank.
Discovery Bank. That's the most powerful one they've got.
Yeah.
It's extremely powerful.
But you still need a life cover or a medical aid to have the proper Vitality.
Vitality, sure. But for the banking, you don't need it.
No.
But for the banking, you only get Vitality Money. And there's a difference. There's Vitality, the big one, that gives you all the discounts on the Garmins and the flights and all that kind of stuff. And I think Vitality Money, you still get discounts, but not the full extent. Like, you can't get to diamond status on Vitality just with Vitality Money. You need both. And we've got both because we've got the life cover with them. But yeah, I reckon you could save more than your membership fee to the Aviation Wealth Club in a year if you get to diamond status.
Well, easy. That's why I was talking about the banking. I mean, I save at least 40,000 Rand a year, at least, the banking.
Bang. Yeah. If you can get even 50% on your flights, if you can get to gold, you get, I don't know what the gold level is on the flight saving, but anyway, you can save much more than your Aviation Wealth Club membership just by getting to gold status. Never mind diamond, because diamond takes at least 3 years. Anyway, how's that for a tangent?
Sorry, Dave. With the banking, it's like basically instant. Like, I went to platinum. I think it's platinum is the highest tier within diamond within 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's because you're fucking rich, though.
Wow, fucking pull up your socks.
Okay, I'm gonna do a session on that. Eugene, you're gonna do the e-bucks session. That's it. Done.
Okay, cool. Yeah, then we can get some more info on it and work from there.
Love it. All right. Who else has had a win? Should we carry on with the wins? It's going to take up the whole session.
Beautiful.
Love it.
Well, that's the equivalent of a fantastic December then.
Nice.
I've had another win. I've gained a lead source that I wasn't expecting to gain. It's cost me a little bit of profit share in a business I was involved in, but it's given me 660 new leads to start January with for free, and all of those people are people who've got a business. And I've also, and this is from Marcius David, I've also got Marcius referring his top 5 to 10 clients that invest with him every month in 4 a.m., introducing them to me as his sort of business coaching provider of choice. And that's a pretty big win. It's cost me some money, some profit share, but I think the upside will be bigger over a 6 months to 6 year window.
Fantastic.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. Lovely.
There we go.
How about Eugene?
Is it my turn?
Quick win.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a good December. We've been working working throughout. But yeah, it was like the time we did have off was good with the family and so on. And so it's just been a lucky December and a good start to a new year.
Beautiful. I love it. My win is that I have got my 250 emails for this year framework done. I've already got 50 ready to go emails that will be going out as newsletters, and that's the whole linchpin of my marketing for this year is the 250 emails. From the emails will come social media posts, videos, webinars, etc. And just a quick breakdown of how those emails are split up. I've got 100 for Pilot Insure, so we've got 50 for life, for insurance, 50 for investments, and those will go out twice a week, one a week. And then I've got 50 for the Aviation Wealth Club, 100 for the Aviation Wealth Club, 50 for SAPFA. SAPFA's got So Aviation Wealth Club has got the 3 different themes within it as well, which is business acceleration, investments, and events. And then the 50 for SAPFA is emails just about President's Trophy, speed rallies, and competitive flying. And that's my contribution to the industry and to our businesses, and to grow. And all of that all works in one nice ecosystem like this. That's gonna create a huge, perfect storm of clients for me this year.
Another best year ever.
This year, I'm tripling up. I don't care. More than tripling up.
Excellent. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Great stuff. Enough about the wins. Tell us, Rob, what have you got for us today?
David, hold on. Don't run away. Give us a number.
A number.
That doesn't mean shit.
So last year, my total
Rob,
production.
do you agree?
Eh?
Yeah, if you can't say the number, it's just vague, isn't it?
Fucking joke. Yeah. Come, give us a number. Come
So
on.
my total production last year was 3 million. That's like gross production. So this year, it's 10 million. On my budget that I worked on from New Year's Day for a couple of hours each day till yesterday, I've doubled that. So my full budget of casting the net is to 20 million.
Sure. So you're 6xing 2025 basically.
Yeah,
7xing.
yeah. And I've
Excellent.
7x before, so, and it may have been from 20 grand to 140 grand a month, but I've done it. I can do it again.
Yeah, counts. Listen here, Rob, David and I, we were like not a long time ago. I'm not going to give you the timelines and out the man, but not a long time ago, David and I were talking, and I was like, you know what, Dave, you're like a 200 grand a month net guy. And like, he didn't believe me at all. He was like, smoking socks, blowing steam up his butt, whatever. And there was like a mind shift. And I think, David, took you maybe like
7 years.
No. Like what the mind shift. Like once the penny dropped, and you could like see the penny drop, because the penny didn't drop on one thing. The penny dropped on your entire outlook of who you are. So it was like a big penny. And I think it took you like 9 or 10 months to do that kind of growth. So it wasn't even like a, and I think it was just like, this is going to sound cliche, but it's just like believing in it, like you believing the story is everything. Like if you don't believe it, it's never going to happen. It's a cliche.
Well,
it's an interesting phenomenon that a lot of money is a lot of money until you suddenly have it, and then it's not a lot of money anymore. And so you only need to go and have that amount of money once or twice arrive, and suddenly you're like, oh, I see. Well, I guess I've got it now. And then you have the next lot of money, whatever that might be, like R1 million a month, and you're like, that's too much. Never going to get that far. That's ridiculous. And then you get there and go, oh, well, it wasn't so bad. It was all right, actually. And look, I'm here. And it's just that's the entrepreneur's journey.
And it's just numbers. And you're just solving the same amount of problems for richer, bigger, better people. And more times in a row. Anyway.
That's it. That's it. So this partly links in what we're going to play with quickly today, because we don't have that much time, but it's partly links into where we left off at the end of last year. But I've been building this 3x40 framework that's around goal setting. And it's like a short, medium, and long-term focus for ourselves, where we remind ourselves about it every single day. And so we work, and the numbers are obscure for a reason. We work thinking about, well, how am I going to work to have what in place within 40 days that's going to make my world better than today? So 40 days from today is the 15th of February. So you've just woken up with a hangover after Valentine's Day. Well, actually, I don't think any of us have done. David doesn't. Maybe Franz. I don't know. Franz, do you drink? Eugene? No?
Franz stopped drinking.
No,
Well,
Oh,
he was
I like
inspired
2
by
years.
my magic. Yeah.
see, when you guys all stopped drinking, I started. I only started drinking after 25.
But Eugene
Okay,
drinks
so-
classily. He drinks red wine. Good red
Yeah.
wine.
Yeah, red wine and whiskey, and and not to get snotters. It's I actually enjoy the whole process of it.
Yeah.
I don't
so
drink
let's-
Red wine and virgin blood.
So the 15th of February arrives. None of us are hungover, but we are waking up with a smile on our face after a wonderful Valentine's Day. What if we've remembered it? So somebody please help me remember it, because I'm hopeless at remembering it.
Well, it's in your 40-day thing now, so
That's
we'll
it.
set the
That's it.
reminder.
So the question is, what are the goals that you think you could go and set for yourself that are a stretch but achievable within the next 40 days? Right? And I'd like you to think about that in three categories. That's your health, your wealth, and your relationships. This kind of goes and sets more of a, like, how do I portion my time and my to-do list in the next 40 days? What's really going on? And there's a second question that's going to come after this. So what I'd like you to focus on is the next 40 days, and the reason for the obscure number goes back to Franz asking David, what's your number? Is that quite often we say, oh, by the end of February, or by the middle of February, or in the next month. And really that just ends up being fluffy because it's non-specific. And so as we play with numbers, we find that awkward numbers actually draw focus and attention, and we go and do something with it. And easy numbers are things that we ignore. Right. So, and that's why you look at pricing. 104 Rand and 97 Rand is much easier to focus on than just 100 Rand. Right? Because just 100 Rand is just 100 Rand, whereas 97 involves a brain thought and 104 involves a brain thought. Even if it is that stupidly irritating, and why don't they just say 100 Rand, it still involved the brain thought.
That's why they do
Right?
it.
That's why, so it's a trigger mechanism. So what I quickly want you to do is go and jot down for yourself 3 or 4 things. Let's say 4 things for your health, 3 or 4 things for your wealth, and 3 or 4 things for your relationships. Those could be professional or personal. That are going to be goals for you to focus on in the next 40 days to achieve between now and the 15th of February. And then I've got a second question for you. So go have a quick jot of that down for yourself.
So 3 each.
3 or 4 each for the 3, yeah.
Health, wealth, and relationships.
And relationships, yes.
So Rob, I'm not on the club of being able to juggle so many things and like get like equilibrium and balance and whatever. Like, I don't believe it's true. I think it's fiction.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you can. You know, this whole idea, this dream that's sold of like being able to balance everything and be like such a great husband, such a good father, such a good. It's all puck. Like I think there's seasons, right? So like, can I press pause on that thought because I agree with you. Can you just play the game with me, because the next part of this will feed into what it is that you want to bring to, which is about like being focused on one area of a season of this and then moving into a season of something else. And I think I just want to apologize, because I think having said that now, I was like, I must be like the worst fucking person to coach in the world, because I don't just shut the fuck up. Like, I'm like, nah, dude, this is wrong. Like, what an asshole.
No. You're actually right that the idea of balance is nonsense. I think harmony through seasons is a better way of achieving some equilibrium. But you are.
Oh,
I
that's
agree with you
nice
completely.
words. Those are such beautiful words, Rob. Look at you. That's nice.
There you go. I'll do it for a job one day. And sometimes we need to take 12 weeks and just focus on money. And it is what it is. And there's going to be a cost to that. But we equally need to be aware of what the cost is and be able to pick that debt up and rebalance that at another point in time. Like my debt that has to be paid is definitely with regards to my health this year and some of my family as well. It's definitely a debt I have to pay this year. We're back in 30 seconds.
Is it cheating if I know it's really like achievable?
I'm putting stuff that I don't believe is currently achievable. Some of it is, and some of it's a massive stretch.
Okay. Maybe. Yeah.
You've got to be a little bit ridiculous with this, I think. That's where it like breaks the window.
The thing is, I'm at the point now, Dave, where I feel like the ridiculous is really ridiculous.
And that's the thing. That's the thing. We've got to, like, what was ridiculous before, we kind of in now, you know?
Like, my ridiculous is like 30 new clients a month. Like, that's my ridiculous.
Scraped it. My ridiculous is that 20 million rand number. That's my 20 million rand budget. That's the ridiculous. But I'm going to fucking go at it. Excuse the language here, Eugene.
Yeah, I think Eugene knows way more about what's going on in our businesses than anyone else. We should put a target on his head.
Yeah. If he goes anywhere else, he knows.
Yeah, I'll start sending you guys the bill for my silence.
Yeah, sign some fucking restraint of trades, yeah.
And I was thinking that, Eugene, you can be one of the first beta testers of our AI system that we're building.
Okay, see, now we're getting somewhere.
Well, I mean, that's worth 10 million bucks right there. So,
okay. Lekker.
Sorry. What?
Consider yourself paid. No, we were just saying Eugene knows more about our business than anyone else. And like, but through these discussions, and then he was saying, "Yo, we're gonna have to start paying him hash money."
Then I kind of a quick account of it. Well, we'll start including me in as a beta tester and all these extra benefits. So now we're getting somewhere. The negotiations are moving forward.
I like it. You could be the early adopter. I think that's probably if you look at every investment opportunity, the early adopters and the successful ones always win the most.
yeah.
Oh, there we go.
So cool. So how are we getting? Have we got 3 for 3? 3 for health, 3 for wealth, 3 for relationships, somewhere close to that. David's got a thumbs up. Can't see anybody else. Eugene, are you good? You're muted, Eugene.
Yeah.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay,
Nice.
going back to Franz. Franz, are you good?
Yes, sir.
Cool. So the next question is this: if you had to, no, not if you had to, what's the one thing that you need to learn in order to make most of those 9 to 12 happen for you? Bearing in mind, learning could be to get out of bed at 5 o'clock in the morning. Learning could be a skill. Learning could be a new belief. Learning could be all sorts of things. But what's the thing that you need? And some learning just happens by doing, and some learning happens by being taught. What's the piece of learning that you need to do in order to make those happen? Let's see if we could pick one. And when you've got that, let me know, because I've got a second question. Good. The next thing is, when you've got the piece of learning, out of the 9 to 12 that you've got, this feeds back to where Franz is, which is the one or two of those that, if you obsess about them the most, actually will allow most of either 50% or more of the rest to actually take care of themselves?
One or two, or one?
One or two. One would be perfect, but two is probably more realistic. So I'm going to park that there. And what I want us to do is quickly, and we're going to overrun, I'm sorry about that, but is now to go and look at 40 months into the future, which, if you were to write a date down for yourself, would be the 6th of May, 2029. Let's repeat the activity. 3 or 4 for health, 3 or 4 for wealth, 3 or 4 for relationships. They're your goals. They can change, of course, if you want them to. And quickly, off the top of your head, scribble those down.
I just want to check. You said 2029.
Correct. 40 months into the future. 6th of May, 2029.
Oh. Yes.
I don't know what it looks like the other side of 40, man. That's a big ask.
Mate, by then I'm going to be the other side of 50 by then. That's terrifying.
You're gonna have to send some fucking pointers down the chain, yeah.
Yes. What I can tell you is the gap between 40 and 50 goes much faster than the gap between 30 and 40. I'm 50 in September, and it feels like my 40th birthday was yesterday.
Yeah, I kind of realized I'm closer to 70 than I am to 10. That's fucking scary.
That means I'm closer to 80. Yes, I'm not even worth 90, not even worth thinking about.
Don't do it.
Oh. When you've got your 3 or 4 things down for your health, wealth, and relationships for the 6th of May, 2029, then go and think about what's the one thing that, if you learnt it, would enable all or most of those to happen. Bearing in mind that could be an attitude, a belief, a doing thing, a skill, something. It could be all sorts of things. A belief that would make those things for those 40 months' time happen.
My honest answer is I don't know.
What would be, if you were to hand your list to me, what do you think I would say? It's often an easier way of guessing or figuring it out, best guessing. If you were to hand your list to somebody else who was an expert at the thing, what do you think they would say?
Mine actually really doesn't change.
That's fine.
It's actually exactly the same.
That's fine. For some people it will change, and other people it won't. By the way, it just depends. There's no right or wrong answer. And then last question is: out of those 9 to 12 things that you've got for the 6th of May 2029, what are the top 1 or 2 to obsess over that will dramatically increase the certainty of the rest being taken care of, or just happening by default? So how have we gone? Then just now have a look across those 2 bits of paper. What is it that you notice the most about what it is that you've written down within this activity time that we've had today?
Yeah, the 80-20 principle applies.
And how does that apply for you, Eugene?
It boils down to focusing on like 1 or 2 small things in terms of, if you manage those, the rest will much easier or more easily achievable.
Do your goals now go from being goals to like realistic targets when you focus on those 2 things?
Yeah, they become realistic targets.
The 80-20 principle is twofold. It's like 80% of the stuff takes care of everything, but 20% of the activities take care of 80% of the stuff. The things you want to achieve, 20% takes care of 80% of that, 20% of your activity.
It's an input output. Is if you can turn the 20% that achieves the 80% of the output, if you can take that 20% and turn it into your 100%, your output then magnifies to 5 times 80. So it becomes significantly greater.
Yeah.
What do you notice, David, as you look at your list? What jumps out at you, your 2 lists?
The one is recognize the value of now. That's like the biggest thing that I need to do. And when I say that, the opposite of that is recognize the value of procrastination, or the negative value of procrastination. And that's like the one big learning, is the value of now. Like, do something today. Don't not do that thing you are wanting to do. Sit down and write that email. Spend that hour on that thing. And for me, it's really about pipelines. And when I say pipelines, it's managing clients, new business, and just basically bolstering that. If I that's 20% of the activity of the number of activities that if I just managed a massive pipeline, it would take care of everything else.
Mm.
The one learning that I need to have before 40 months is hiring, like expanding my team.
Cool. Okay, let's put that hiring. I think we've already touched on that hiring thing in the past, but I think that's I think that's definitely something. I did a one-to-one session at 6 o'clock this morning, and actually it was with Ruan David, and there's a book called "Be Obsessed or Be Average" by Grant Cardone, where he says the art of successful business is to hire incredibly fast and in hiring in large volumes. And for most of us, that breaks our brain because we're still stuck in the place of how do I afford these people?
Yeah.
And it's actually because we don't understand our role in the world is actually not to go and be a financial advisor in your case or Franz's case, or maybe a pilot or a property owner in Eugene's case. It's actually to be the person who does the marketing and sales to go and enable you to have a business of any size.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I'm going to have a screaming child come through to me. Franz, what do you notice?
Well, the first thing is like not much has changed. In the last kind of feels like the same conversation, over the last 2-3 years, slowly nudging towards it, but like there's still being overarching thing. And mine is like dedicating time to systems, and that's a new one. And I think that's maybe just like a natural progression, right? And actually dedicating time to like personal friendships, which I feel like I need to do, like it, because I don't dedicate time to it. So I mean, there's always something else going on. So that friend that you, let's say, quote unquote, should be talking to once a week, like becomes once every 3 months, and then the once every 3 months becomes the norm, right? I mean, sleep is the overarching thing. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that, but I've had a massive problem with sleep almost all my life. But it's again, and the sleep ties into everything else. The sleep's like, if I can get to bed at 10 or 11, I can wake up at 5. Got all the time in the world to catch up on, to eat the frog and to do some exercising and whatever. Like it frees that up. So those are the 3 big things. And I mean, that's something I don't think that ever changes. I think that's more of a lifestyle or way of life than just simply goals.
It's interesting what you say there about how something as seemingly simple as sleep, how large a lever it is to achieve so much more.
Yeah.
And I think we often chase after big, more complicated, more technical, more whatever things. And actually, what we chase after isn't actually the lever that, when pulled, will make the difference.
Yeah.
In most of my one-to-one coaching, conversations around things like sleep happen far more often, and a happy marriage, actually, a marriage that's not tearing itself apart. Actually, those a well-balanced marriage and a business owner who sleeps well normally can add 5 to 10 million rand a year to what they earn, just by the weight of that being lifted off their shoulders. Their brain functions, they're having the conversations they want to have with their wife as opposed to the ones they don't want to have. And it allows them to focus. And it's
Robert also has the opposite effect. It's like, I'm not going to divulge too much, but it also has the opposite effect. Like if those 2 things don't go well, like you will go bankrupt. Like it's almost nothing you can do about it.
That's it. 100%. So there's both sides of the zero that can play out. Cool. Something I'd like you to play with, if you find time over the next week, is to redo that activity every day for yourself in 10 minutes for the next week. But I don't ever want you to look back at the previous day. I just want you to go and pick another 40 days into the future. So that'll be the 16th of February and the 7th, 2026 and the 7th of May, 2029. And just from memory, rewrite your bullet points down for yourself, realign yourself on this is my learning. These are my two levers that I need to pull, the two things I need to focus on the most. What that does is it starts to imprint it in your brain as a belief set and a piece of programming. The reason for not looking back at the previous days is if you're reminded, you're not programming it in your mind, you're just cutting and pasting it in your mind from yesterday into today, into a new version of. You're not actually taking the time to like ingrain it in your brain and remember it and hold it as truly important. Especially that, what's the one or two things, if I just obsess about it and do it, it will take care of everything else, or most of everything else. I find that people who do this for 7 to 21 days usually achieve goals in 50% of the timeline that they thought it was possible in. And so I just want to leave you to go and play with that and see where it goes to over the next week or two. And you'll start to notice the benefits.
Love it.
Very quickly, one thing you've liked about what we've spoken about today before we wrap up and go and smoke cigars and eat chocolate biscuits.
And start drinking again.
I think for me, it's like it's like a combination of all the things. But it was Dave saying, living in the now, really, and then how that translates to, putting the magnifying glass on just 2 or 3 things that changes everything else. So it's like almost, it's like what you actually do is, Rob, is like you want to filter through the noise and get to the root.
Yeah. The thing that's got the most leverage. Hammer it.
That's it. You'll find that there's 2 sorts of us out there, right? There's the pragmatic now people, and then there's the dreamer people. And both personality types end up like almost destructing themselves to a degree. Because the pragmatic now people just focus on pragmatic now, and that's all they do, and they don't do anything else. And they kind of run around cutting the whole forest down, as opposed to cutting down the trees that they need to cut down. And then the dreamer people have one eye on a big picture for the future, but they're not actually doing the work of today. And the more that we can support ourselves to become balanced, of either being brave enough to have a big picture that we're going to work towards, and being like, and then leaning into the pragmatic now, or if we're very dreamer, like we're 5 or 10 years in the future, actually coming back and just doing the stuff of today, like the pragmatic now person. The more of that balance we can bring about for ourselves, the more successful we'll be, because we need to be able to do both. And then as we start to understand ourselves, if we're a very much in the future person, 5 or 10 years in the future, we actually need to hire pragmatic now people.
That's exactly where I am.
And if you're a pragmatic now person and you struggle to think about the future at a 5 to 10 year window and believe that something could be possible that's bigger than today and so on and so forth, then you need to start working with visionary. Who can be there, and that starts to bring that balance around. So
that's where France and I am. France is the visionary, and I'm the day-to-day guy.
But then now, as you mentioned hiring, David, it's thinking about who is it that you need to hire. Like, do you even need, David, somebody who's more present today than you are?
Big time.
And there's people out there.
I think I've started rubbing off on him, Rob.
Yeah, that's the problem. I've started moving into the future.
That's good. That's good, because that's David, and that's evidenced in 2025 through what you achieved. But then, Franz is going to have to find probably somebody else in the business to go and be a today person at some point in time as well, just to go and help bring balance into that other part of the business. It's just how it is as you grow.
For sure.
And then Eugene is going to own 3 aeroplane in 40 months time that he's going to have out there running around making money for him. I think that's a wonderful goal.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's a goal.
What did you like about today's session, Eugene, in terms of bringing this focus about?
Yeah, I think that pretty much what the other guys mentioned was refocusing on the 1 or 2 things that'll affect or let the other things fall into place pretty much.
What's one thing you learned today, Eugene?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's one of those this is what must be done, but you don't necessarily do it type of thing.
Yeah.
What's the benefit of doing it, Eugene?
No, it'll free up time and basically free up time to do other things that you more want to do. It's like that one stumbling block that's preventing you from getting to other things that you want to do, and it's pretty much causing frustration all around because it's not done yet.
Well, my best suggestion for you all from what you've taken today is go and have a look at your schedule for the next week and start thinking about, how do I juggle my schedule to allocate time to actually what's most important, as opposed to what my normal behavior would lead me towards being most important. That would be a very, very sensible use of time. So cool. Thank you, folks. That's a wrap from my side.
Love it, Rob. Thank you very much.
Appreciate your time, Rob. Thanks, man.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to next week's session. And don't forget to do your homework, everybody. I know when everyone gets homework, then they just bugger off and we don't see them on the next session. So this time, let's make a new change, and new year, new you. Show up and have done the homework. All right.
Last time there was homework, there was only me and Franz in the session.
Not even I came.
Not even you turned up.
Oh, well done.
It's great. Anyway, cheers, fellas.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers,
Cheers, guys.
Thank you,
God
man.
bless.
Ciao.
Cheers. Bye.